A warm welcome to Anuradha Vedic Astrology. Today we are going to talk about Saturn in the second house. How Saturn behaves, what are its requirements and what Saturn can deliver. But before that, a big thanks to all of you for liking, sharing and subscribing to our YouTube and Spotify channels and writing in your comments and suggestions there. If you haven't subscribed to us, please do. And do remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the updates ASAP. Saturn is a planet that most say is very stingy in giving results. Saturn is the karma karak. It makes you work through your bones and it makes sure that you are very disciplined, punctual and very responsible. Saturn is also a planet that is fair. I believe, in my opinion, it gives you the just, the deserving that you are. Because as humans, we want more than what we are doing, we're willing to put forward. And there, Saturn, the Karma Karak, the planet of justice, has an issue with us. Again, when we talk about the second house is the house of our learnings, it is the house of our earnings, it is the house of our self-worth. Saturn in the second house, how does it reflect? To begin with, the self-worth and Saturn. Saturn is a planet that gives us little, and the self-worth that we are talking about in the second house, this I have found in many people is lacking. When Saturn is placed in the second house, I find that people may lack a lot of sense of self-worth. They may feel that they are not adequate, they are not up to the mark. Such people have to be taught, such people have to be showed the way that it is possible for them to grow. They are very much capable of good and they do have a lot of potential within them. They have to be taught certain things. And once they understand those things, they're quite willing to go the extra mile and they do go ahead. Saturn is a planet of responsibilities. And the second house is your family. So you are responsible. Wherever Saturn sits, it makes you responsible for that place. So Saturn, when is placed in the second house, and as I have found in many charts, in my readings, in my personal acquaintances and also all around me, when you also look at the chart of Dhirubhai Ambani, you will see that he had a strong association not just with his own immediate family, but he took responsibility of so many around him. So those family members, your earnings, you have to work really hard. Saturn is a planet that gives you when you are working hard. And it has the ability to give you continuously because Saturn gives for a long period of time. It has one of the longest dashas. Ability telling us that yes, it is capable of delivering for a long period of time. But second house of earnings and second house of Saturn says hard work equates to earning. When we are working really hard, when we are doing good in life, when we are able to showcase our capacity, capabilities into our work, then we turn out to be the good that there is, the best that there is, and make a lot of money. For Dhirubhai Ambani, in his chart, his Saturn is placed in the second house in Capricorn. And we all know his struggles that he had. It is also the third lord. We all know the struggles that he had to endure, but he was persistent. There was a lot of hard work amongst persistence, because Saturn, being the lord of the third house, is also showing a lot of perseverance and persistence and a lot of dhairya or a lot of patience, and he applied all of it, and that is why he was able to make such a lot of money. And Saturn, once started gave him the money for a long period of time. He just did not stop making money till the end. But Saturn, in whatever that one does, has to do it very diligently to give us that money. Again, Saturn has the ability, or it tells you that prosperity and all around prosperity is only possible if you do not deviate from your principles, because the second house is also the house of sanskars, or the principles that you have. If your base is strong, there's nothing to move you. And finally, it gives you great administrative capacities. Saturn is the karaka of administration, because it is disciplined, it is punctual, and it expects from everybody. So once a person is disciplined, once a person is punctual, and once a person knows how to stay on track with his work, there's nothing that stops Saturn from paying you. I have a chart of a person who has Saturn in her second house, and it is in Magha Nakshatra. Initially, she had a very good upbringing, she had a very wealthy lifestyle, and went through her phase of turbulence, but later on was very well off in terms of money. Now some of you can come up and tell me that that dictum is not working. I could also agree with you and say the dictum would not work in many cases, because Saturn, I told you, as I told you in the course of my video, that Saturn talks about hard work. Again, the chart of a person I have, Saturn in Aslesha in the second house. Aslesh Nakshatra is the nakshatra of the serpents or the sarpas, and they are known to be lazy. They're extremely dynamic in their thought process, they can be very intelligent, but for most parts I found that planets here can give you a bit of laziness. So when a person exhibits laziness, especially when Saturn is sitting here, then the person will not be able to accumulate wealth and can have a lot of financial difficulties. One of the criteria is wherever that Saturn sits, it's very important that you have to be hardworking. Saturn in the second house will equate to money only when the person follows discipline, hard work, and honesty. Certain principles are important. Till we meet with you again, stay safe. Thank you.
Please hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.